Hi, welcome to day 3 of the first week, and I hope you enjoyed yesterday's exercise of becoming aware of something and getting to intimately connect with it. And that whole process is really trying to break us out of the cycle of what I'll be talking about in the step 3 of that Mindful Tracker document. Because in this section, we're going to become aware of what we think about what it is we're observing. So more often than not, usually what happens in observation or looking at something, it's usually quickly followed by thoughts that will almost simultaneously identify and interpret that situation. So yesterday's exercise was kind of breaking that cycle, counteracting that, finding a place of connecting to more observation. But the other part, besides hanging out there, is critically becoming intimate with how our thoughts are moving. So we want to start to observe that process intimately and just become as intimate with that process as we were becoming intimate with the other things we were looking at. See, if we don't do that and become intimate with our thought process, then it always appears as the lens that we're looking through might be the correct view of the situation. And what I'm encouraging you to do today is, besides becoming intimate with our thoughts, is to learn and look through various different perspectives at the same situation. So you can, in tracking terminology, we often say to vary your vision, to kind of move around the object and get as many different angles and views of it as you can. And each time you shift that view, it's changing the information that you're receiving. So through that process, we learned that we don't need to jump to conclusions in right away. And that's really important to kind of anchor into, is that the more we're hanging out in openness rather than moving right away to the first interpretation or identification that comes to us, the more we're going to be able to see what our thought process is looking like. We're really trying to learn about how thought, when it's coming from a fixed center, it's going to start to fragment the situation from wholeness. So we're trying to move more and more into a place of not coming from a fixed center and allowing our awareness to come from multiple directions. So maybe another exercise that you can practice as well to take in a more holistic, wider view of a situation is the concept of peripheral vision. So now, instead of really focusing on an object and becoming really super detailed and like we did with our hand looking at it, instead we're going to take a broad scope and tune into the periphery of our view. And we want to have our mind at the same time take in that peripheral big picture view, and that allows everything to be taken in to a holistic view. So an exercise that one of my mentors a while ago taught me was to wiggle your fingers like this until you bring it out to the edge of your field of view, and then notice your fingers wiggling while you're taking in the rest of the portrait in front of you. And if we take that same exercise of the fingers wiggling and we bring that inside ourselves to see that those thoughts, those little extraneous thoughts that we're having, are the same types of fingers wiggling on the periphery of our vision, that's the type of mindset that I'm talking about. So we really want to um, discover how awareness is not coming from that fixed position and is really in a big container of openness. So play with some of those things today, and I'll see you tomorrow.